Basically, chiropractors tend to manipulate patients a lot more than what an osteopath or a physio would.
When you say manipulation,
I mean taking joints to end range and then you hear that satisfying cracking noise.
Okay.
They tend to do that to the spine and joints. It doesn't necessarily need to be the spine. It could be the lower extremity or upper extremity, but they tend to use radiography as well in their practice. So they try, and sometimes they'll typically get a patient to come. They'll do a case history. They'll get you to have an X-ray, so they expose you to radiation, and then they'll bring you out. They'll show you, look, this is where things are. They call them subluxations, where things are malaligned, and they'll try and correct them, and then take another X-ray to see if there's a change. And I don't think all chiropractors do that, but I know that this is a common practice in this field. Physios, as we know, are very well known. They a lot of their work is in NHS. They do also private work, but it's a lot to do with exercises, I feel. There are some who do manual work, but I am stereotyping here to try and give some sort of idea about
clarification between them. Yeah.
And doctors will tend to refer to physio as the first line of treatment for anyone complaining of any MSK issue.
Yeah. MSK?
MSK means musculoskeletal,
okay.
sorry.
Yeah.
And so any... What was I saying? I lost my trail of thought. So, so they'll get referred to a physio, and then from there they would get exercises mostly. They'll be given a set of exercises, and then from there they would be reassessed and then pushed to do a bit more or less, and just try and treat the issue through exercise and rehabilitation. Then osteopaths, as I've said, is basically, I like to see it as kind of encompassing both of those practices, and also trying to understand the way in which we can treat the body in a way where we are promoting health. So it doesn't generally involve manipulation or exercises. Sometimes it may not involve either of those things. It may be just complete mobilization, soft work. Also, osteopathy it also looks at different areas. It's a big subject, osteopathy. So it's not just looking at MSK necessarily. You can do visceral osteopathy. So that means working on the organs. You can do osteopathy working on the organs. And you may ask, what are we doing there? Well, we're trying to promote health there. And how do you do that? You're feeling, for example, where there's restriction in an organ, because that could be maybe due to IBS or any other sort of
inflammatory bowel disease.
Inflammatory. IBS is irritable bowel syndrome. Yeah, IBD is
IBD. You're right. Yeah,
but I might have confused you because we spoke about it earlier.
Yeah.
So you can get IBS symptoms, which you may feel like their small intestine isn't moving well, like the rest of their colon. And you can try and find an area of balance and then just reassess, and it moves better. And then the patient may say to you, I feel a lot better in terms of my digestion. Yeah. And, there's patients after osteopathy sometimes pass a bowel movement where they haven't been able to for many, many days, and that's a brilliant, that's like osteopathy speaking for itself. You see the patients immediate change. Yeah. And, that's one area of osteopathy. You can do pediatric osteopathy, so working on children. You can do obstetric osteopathy, working on pregnant women. Geriatric, working on the elderly. And, every branch has its own niche patients and niche areas of treatment. And, that's why it's quite difficult to talk about osteopathy, because it's so broad.
If you enjoyed that, you can click the link in the description to watch the full podcast or listen to it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and our website. You can also ask questions in the comments below, which will be directed to healthcare professionals in our future weekly episodes. Thank you so much for watching.